Ham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam. Hansrupi Prabhu, chant the Pangalacham. Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanditamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shrivarshavanave Devi Daitaya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vikyana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuri Jura Premadha Shri Rupa Nuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostate Namaste Gauravani Shri Murti Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruttha Prasiddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambar Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestam Nirtishta Satchana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhuma Shri Jagannathayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gauratushe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Jaitam Surato Pangur Mama Mandir Mater Gati Mat Sarva Sapadam Bojo Shri Radha Madana Mohanam Divya Dvindaranyam Kalpadrumadha Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanastau Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Krishthalidi Sevamana Smarami Shriman Rasasaram Hivam Shivata Tatastitah Karshan Venu Sunir Bhupe Gopinatha Shri Stunaha Taptakanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Ram. What is Mangalacharan? Can anyone say what is Mangalacharan?
Invoking the auspiciousness and invoking the blessings of spiritual masters and Vaishnavas.
So naturally, when the Mangalacharan is chanted, everybody should chant or not? Is it that I only should Mangalacharan? You should take out your Vaishnava songbook and try to remember or try to learn or read the Mangalacharan verses. When the Mangalacharan is going on,
I'm reading. What is it mean?
Yeah. So when the Mangalacharan is going on, you should try to read or try to learn. If you have memorized, try to chant and invoke auspiciousness by taking the shelter of words Guru Shishya Parampara. Okay. So today we'll try to complete the 8th chapter, 8.22 onwards. So Krishna has, in the previous verse, Krishna emphasizes that whoever takes my devotional service or takes a path of devotional service, then he has not to return in this material world. He need not come back here. Yam prapina nivartanti tadhama paramam. Whoever attains the param dhama, he will not return back. Then we saw that how Brahma's day, Brahma's night, in Brahma's day, all the living entities, they manifest. And then the Brahma's night, they are annihilated. Those up to Swarga are 3 planets, and the lower planets. Those living entities, they die or they are annihilated. Die in the sense is annihilated. They are annihilated. after 1 day of Brahma. But above that, above Swargaloka is Maharloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, Satyaloka. Those residing above Swargaloka, they are the knowers of the day of Brahma. 17th verse we saw. They are knowers of the day of Brahma. They know the calculation. And also they know they are not interested in in any of the materialistic activities. They are all exalted people who are interested in liberation. So especially in the above lokas, if they perform devotional service very nicely, then after the complete dissolution, they can go back home, back to God. But even after attaining Brahmaloka, after doing lot of pious activities, if he is not interested in devotional service, then he has to come. That is why A Brahma Bhuvala Loka Punaravartino Jana Mamupetita Kaunteya Punarjanmana Kauntina Vidyate. Whoever takes my devotional service need not have to come back. Okay. Now, 22nd. So, Saman Bonam is whoever does devotional service, they attain Krishna Loka. So, 22nd verse. Purusha sa parapartha bhaktya labhya tvananyaya yasyantah sthani bhutani yena sarvam idam tatam. Purusha sa parapartha bhaktya labhya tvananyaya yasyantah sthani bhutani yena sarvam idam tatam. Purusha sa parah partha. O Partha, one who knows Krishna is the supreme. Purusha, he is the Purusha. Saha here refers to he. Krishna is the supreme person. The supreme personality is the enjoyer. Here Purusha refers to enjoyer. How he comes to know this? Bhaktya labhya. By bhakti. To ananyaya. To ananya devotion. Undeviated, unalloyed devotion. Then for him, yasya anthasthani bhutani yena sarvam idam tatam. So, what he knows more? He knows that Lord is anthasthani. He is present within everyone in this material manifestation. At the same time, idam tatam. He is present everywhere. And also he is present in his abode. Although he is present in his abode, he is present. He is all pervading and everything is situated in him. Antasthani idam tatam. Idam means here. Here he is present. He is present. Antasthani, he is present. Antakarana, antasthani means he is situated in everyone's heart. Idam, Om Purnamidam, Purnamadam. Idam means in this material world, he is present everywhere as Brahman. Idam as Brahman, Antasthani as Paramatma, Purushaha, he is a person. When he is a person, naturally he has his personal abode, he is an enjoyer. So how we can understand he has his personal abode? Because Purusha has been given. He is a Purusha, he is a person. So naturally everything is a person. Everything related to him is very personal. His abode is also personal. Our dealings with him is also personal. Every jiva has a personal relationship with him. So that is why Purusha has been given. So one of you read, Vandana Mataji, read the verse, then Krishna Priya, then Kanchan Mishra. Read the verse.
Hare Krishna. Purusha sah parah partha bhakta labhyatva annanya yasyanta sthani bhutani yena sarvmitah tattatam.
Sarvamidam tatam. Don't break.
Sarvamidam tatvatam.
Sarvam idam, yena sarvam idam tatam.
Yena sarvamidam tatam.
Tatam.
Yena sarvamidam tatam.
Sarvam
Sarvam
idam. Idam tatam. Okay. Krishna Priya.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranamataji. Purusha sa para partha bhaktya labhyastvananyaya.
Tvananyaya. Tvananyaya.
Yastvananyaya. Yasyantah sthani bhutani yena sarvamidam tatam.
Very good. Kanchan.
हरे कृष्णा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम पुरुषः स परः पार्था भक्तया लभस्य तवन्यया यस्यान्तस्थानि भूतानि येन सर्वमिदं ततम्
Very good. See, Yashal, I am seeing you now for after so many days. You were not present in the last class. So you
Hare
should.
Krishna Mataji. Yes, Mataji, I was absent on Monday and Wednesday. Actually, I joined on Monday, but I was traveling that day,
Okay.
so I was not able to attend.
Kanchan Mataji, read the purport. Translation of the purport. Kanchan Bhaktani.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all pervading and everything is situated within him. Purport. It is here clearly stated that the supreme destination from which there is no return in the abode of Krishna, the Supreme Person. The Brahma Samhita describes the supreme abode as Ananda Chinmaya Rasa, a place where everything is full of spiritual bliss. All the variegatedness manifest there is of the quality of spiritual bliss. Nothing there is material. That that variegatedness is expanded as the spiritual expansion of the Supreme Godhead Himself. For the manifestation, there is totally of the spiritual energy, as explained in chapter 7. As far as this material world is concerned, although the Lord is always in a supreme abode, He is nothing less all pervading by His material energy. So, by His spiritual and material energies, He is present everywhere, both in the material and the spiritual universes. Yashyantaha sthani means that everything is sustained within him, within either his spiritual or material energy. The Lord is all pervading by these two energies. To enter Krishna's supreme abode or the innumerable Vaikuntha planets is possible only by bhakti, devotional service, as clearly indicated here by the word bhaktya. No other process can help one attain that supreme abode. The Vedas, Gopala Tapani Upanishad 1.21 also describe the supreme abode and the supreme personality of Godhead. Eko Vasi Eko Vasi Sarva Gaha Krishna. In that abode, there is only one supreme personality of Godhead, whose name is Krishna. He is the supreme merciful deity, and although situated there as one, he has expanded himself into millions and millions of plenary expansions. The Vedas compare the Lord to a tree, standing still, yet bearing many varieties of fruits, flowers, and changing leaves. The plenary expansions of the Lord, who preside over the Vaikuntha planets, are four-armed, and they are known by a variety of names: Purushottama, Trivikrama, Keshava, Madhava, Aniruddha, Rishikesha, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Sridhara, Vasudeva, Damodhara, Janardana, Narayana, Vamana, Padmanabha, etc. The Brahma Samhita 5.37 also confirms that although the Lord is always in the supreme abode, Goluka Vrindavana, he is all pervading so that everything is going on nicely. Goluka Iva Nivasate. Akhilatma Bhutaha. As stated in the Vedas, Svetasvatara Upanishad 6.8, Parasya Saktir Vividhaiva
Shruyate.
Shruyatal Swabhavika Jnana Bala Kriya. His energies are so expansive that they systematically conduct everything in the cosmic manifestations without a flaw, although the Supreme Lord is far, far away. Hare Krishna.
So Vedas describe the abode of Krishna. In Brahma Samhita also we have the verses which describes the abode of Krishna, Chintamani Dhama, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. So all these things are being described, and how there is Surabhi cow, there are Lakshmis who are serving. And when you see Vaikuntha, that means there is no Kuntha, there is no misery. And also there is some one person, Eko Vashi Sarvagah Krishna, one person, Tadure Tudantike. He is there far also, he is very near also. Ishopanishad speaks about it. Tadure Tudantike, Tadantarasya Sarvasya, Tassarvasyasa Bhayita. So Tadure is so far. Tadantike, you are so near also. Tadantarasya Sarvasya, you are there in everyone's heart. Tadantarasya Sarvasya, Tassarvasyasa Bhayita. Outside also you are present. How? You are pervading in each and every atom, molecule as Brahman. So Krishna's three features, Brahman, Paramatma, and Krishna Swayam, Bhagavan, who is Purusha, has been emphasized in this verse. You see, Purusha means Bhagavan Swayam, who is a person, that means he has a personality. And then he is present in everyone's heart, Antasthani. And then he is there, Sarvam Idam Tatam, he is present everywhere as Brahman. So in 7th chapter we saw Bahulam Janmanamante Gyanvanman Prapatyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Who is that Mahatma? Who knows all these three things? How will he know? Answer is there in this verse, 22nd verse. How will he come to know? Vishuddha Sattvam Vasudeva Shabditam. Bhagavan aspect. Vasatiti Sarvatra Vasudeva. Who is present in everyone's heart as Lord. Sarvamiti Vasati. Who is there pervading everywhere. How a person can know all these three aspects? The answer is given. O Partha, it is by bhakti. Bhaktya labhyastvananya. Only by bhakti, that person can become Mahatma. And who is a Mahatma? Who knows all these three things. So you can relate these two verses. Bahunam Janmanamante. We studied, which was the verse in 7th chapter. Number Bahunam Janmanamante. Can anybody say?
7.19.
7.19, which is this verse 8.22. So you see, the answer has been given. 7.19 speaks about a Mahatma, a Jnani becoming a Mahatma. Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanvanman Pravatyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Such Mahatma is very Durlabha. And a Jnani, after so many lifetime, he comes to understand this. And then how will he understand? Answer is there in 22nd verse. It is only by Ananya Bhakti towards Krishna. Okay. Now when we say Ananya Bhakti, that is complete surrenderance. He is not interested in any Yoga Mishra, Jnana Mishra, or Karma Mishra Bhaktis. It is complete Ananya Bhakta. Is completely surrendered to Krishna. His focus is just to advance in devotional service, just serve Krishna. Now there are people who are interested in other things like Mishri's Bhakti, Yoga Mishra, Jnana Mishra, and then Karma Mishra. Bhakti they are doing, no doubt, but their desire is to take the help of Bhakti and grow in whatever path they are. Like Yoga Mishra Bhakta. What is their choice? Their choice is yoga only. But they have taken Bhakti to have perfection in yoga. Karma Mishra Bhaktas. Their choice is karma. But Bhakti is done to have perfection in karma. That means this is predominant. What is predominant? For them, karma is predominant, or yoga is predominant, or jnana is predominant. Why is bhakti taken? Bhakti is just taken to have perfection in these things. They are all Mishrit Bhaktas. So now these Mishrit Bhaktas, especially this Hatha Yogas, Yoga Mishrit Bhaktas, they have to select certain time to leave their body. They choose. If this time I get, then I need not have to come back again. So they choose. Just see what is a perfection for them. The perfection is to attain the abode by their endeavor. Which endeavor? They will select a time. They will try to see that they get that time to leave their body. It sometimes happens, sometimes doesn't happen. Sometimes accidentally happens. But a devotee does not think of when to give up the body, whether in Uttarayana or Dakshinayana, whether in daytime or nighttime. He is only interested in serving Krishna, and just he prays that whenever I leave my body, oh Lord, please don't forget me. That anytime, in the next lifetime, if you want to give me again the birth, please give me unalloyed devotional service. Mama Janmani Janmani Ishware Bhaktat Bhakti Ahaitu. That means he is not afraid of giving up the body, nor is afraid of returning back in this world. He is only afraid of one thing, that Krishna should not forget giving him devotional service. That is why he says, Om Kruto Smara Krutam Smara Kruto Smara. Remember Krishna, whatever I have done. Even if I have done a small thing, please remember. Again, give me devotional service. So he is not thinking of whether I will give up the body in the morning or evening. Sometimes he has that desire. Ekadashi is a nice day. It doesn't matter even if it is Prathama also, Dvitiya also. But whenever I give up the body, oh Krishna, let me remember you. Even if I don't remember you, you see that you make me remember you. Out of some difficulties like Kapha, Pitta, sometimes my body is not able to remember you. But see that I don't forget you. In this way, some prayers are done by the devotees. Generally, devotees don't think so much. They just think of serving Krishna. They don't even think what is going to happen at the time of death. They just think how to serve Krishna every day, every time, every moment. That then he's a devotee. If he thinks, oh, what will happen at the time of death, what will happen at the time of death, even Kulashekar Alvar did not think this. Kulashekar Alvar says, Prana Prayana Samaya Kafavata Pittai Kantavarodhana Vadu Smaranam Putasti. I don't know what is going to happen at the time of death, but now I am healthy. Now I can chant. Allow me to chant. Simple. Krishna Todiya Pada Pankaja Panjarantam Adyaiva Me Vishatu Manasa Rajahamsa. So I am not waiting till the death, nor I am bothered what is going to happen at the time of death. Then that person is a devotee. He should not be so bothered. He should be bothered whether at this time I am able to remember Krishna or not, whether I am utilizing every moment in Krishna's service or not. Then he is a devotee. Now Krishna is going to tell about different times of passing from this world. A yogi thinks about this. Let us see. Yatra kale tvanavrittim avrittim chaiva yoginah prayatayanti tam kalam vakshami bharatarshabha. Bharatarshabha. Yatra kale tvanavrittim avrittim chaiva yoginah prayatayanti tam kalam vakshami bharatarshabha. Yatra kale, which time? Anavrittim, I will not return. Avrittim cha, which time if I give up the body, I will return back. Yoginaha, there are different type of mystics. Prayata, they think if I depart from this time, that time. Yanti tam kalam. So which time I should attain? Vakshami bharatarshabha. Krishna says, see, how many people, there are so many people who think of all these things. I'm going to explain. Yogis think of all these things. It's not a problem. Let them think. Yoga Mishra Bhaktas. If they have taken this as a path, their concentration is at what time I will give up the body. So in purport, Srila Prabhupada says, first thing Prabhupada says, unalloyed devotees don't think all these things. Let us read the verse first. Kamalakshi Mataji, then Partha Bandhu Prabhu. Then Jhumur will read the verse. Narayana will read the purport.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yatra kale tva anavrittim avartim chaiva yoginaga prayatayanti tam kalam vakshyami varadarshava.
How many mistakes? Read again first line. Aram.
Yat-
Yatra kale tvana vrittim tvana. Join tvana.
Yatra kale tva anavrittim.
Why you are saying tva? There is no tva, then there is no a. Just join both tvana.
Tvana. Tvanavrittim.
Just imagine if you have that, there is no gap. It is
Okay.
tvana. Yatra kale tvana vrittim.
Yatra kale anavrittim.
Avrittim. Avrittim.
Chaiva yoginaga
Prayatayanti tam kalam.
prayatayanti tam kalam
Vakshami bharatarshabha.
vakshyami varadarshava.
Parthabandhu Prabhu. Parthabandhu Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yatra kale tvana vrittim chaiva yoginaha prayata yanti kalam vakshyami bharatavarshava
Bharatarshabha. Prayatayanti tam kalam. Vakshami bharatarshabha. Ra comes after ta. Bharatarshabha. Jumur.
यत्र काले त्वनावृत्तिम् आवृत्तिं चैव योगिनः प्रयातयान्ति तं कालं वक्ष्यामि भरतर्षभा
Vakshami.
वक्ष्यामि भरतर्षभा
Narayana read.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. O best of Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which, passing away from this world, the yogi does or does not come back. Purport. The unalloyed devotees of the Supreme Lord, who are totally surrendered souls, do not care when they leave their bodies or by what method. They leave everything in Krishna's hands and so easily and happily return to Godhead. But those who are not unalloyed devotees and who depend instead on such methods of spiritual realization as Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Hatha Yoga must leave the body at a suitable time in order to be sure of whether or not they will return to the world of birth and death. If the yogi is perfect, he can select the time and situation for leaving this material world. But if he is not so expert, his success depends on his accidentally passing away at a certain suitable time. The suitable times at which one passes away and does not come back are explained by the Lord in the next verse. According to Acharya Baladev Vidyabhushan, the Sanskrit word Kala used herein refers to the presiding deity of time.
Yes. So your Kala refers to the presiding deity of time. Now 24th verse.
Mataji,
Yes.
even Bhishma, Pitama Bhishma, he also chose a time to pass away.
He had the Ichha Mukti. He did not select, but he had that time. He had the blessings that he can have Ichha Mukti.
So, can we consider him to be an unalloyed devotee or an alloyed devotee?
He is an unalloyed devotee. Unalloyed devotees also have that power. But they don't have that much, they are not so much inclined to do that. And here, why Bhishma Pitama waited? Because Krishna wanted him to give this transcendental knowledge, what Krishna is giving to Arjuna, the same knowledge, which was heard by Yudhishthira, but he was not understanding that. The same knowledge is given by Bhishma Pitamaha to Yudhishthira Maharaj. So when he is giving this knowledge, naturally he has an unalloyed devotion and unalloyed love for Krishna. He can choose his time. Like Prabhupada chose his time. In other places, Prabhupada asked his devotees to pray for him. When he used to have some very critical health, at that time he used to say, go and pray to Krishna. If he desires, he will protect me, because still the task is incomplete. So his devotees used to go and pray. But now when the real time had come, at that time he said, now you don't have to pray. You all have become so mature that you can take care of the mission which I have started. So even the devotees have that strength. It is not just the yogis have. Even devotees have. Your devotees also have that strength. When their task is complete, they have the strength to pray Krishna that please take me. Now, what is the meaning of unalloyed devotion? Even while quitting the body, Bhishma had the desire that Krishna should stand before him, and he is glorifying Krishna by giving 1,000 names, Sahasranam. So that is why he is not coming in the category of Yoga Mishra, Karma Mishra, Jnana Mishra. He is a pure devotee. So just because he has selected the time, immediately that is not the conclusion. But others select their time, but it may not happen. May happen, may not happen. Sometimes accidentally it may happen. But it is not necessary they are going to go to Krishna Loka. Now, Bhishma Pitama is eternally from Parthasarthi Loka. Where will these people go then? They go till the Brahman realization. They don't have still that devotion for Krishna. They are just selecting time and all. So they go till the Brahman. That means they get the effulgence of Lord. But after that, they again have to come so that they can perform another service and go back home, back to God. It's not so easy to go to Krishna Loka just because he has passed Barabar in this time. That is anyhow going to come now.
Mataji, what is Parthasarthi Loka?
Parthasarthi means he is the Parthasarthi Loka is the place where Krishna is eternally as a charioteer of Partha. Sarthi means charioteer of Partha. And Bhishma is eternally on the other side, always relishing the beauty of Krishna and having the chivalry rasa with Krishna. Like father likes to play the fighting game with the children. The children sit on the chest of father and just have some punching games with father. So this eternally Bhishma Pitamaha relishes this rasa with Krishna. That is why this verse, why Bhishma is there on the side of the Pandavas. Guru Nahatva Himahanubhava. You have read this verse in second chapter. There the explanation comes. Why Bhishma is there on the side of Pandavas. That is a desire of Bhishma, that I eternally want to see the beautiful form of Krishna. Now Arjuna is sitting behind. He is not able to relish. But Bhishma is relishing the sweetness of Krishna. Okay. Now let us see what time is selected by the yogis. Agnirjyotirah Shuklaha Agnirjyotirah Shuklaha Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahma Vido Janaha. Now what is spoken? Just see Brahma Brahma Vido Janaha. Brahma Vidaha. Those who want to know the absolute Brahma Vidaha. Brahma Vida technically also knows as Veda Vidaha. The one who knows the Vedas or one who desires to know the Vedas. So now, those who know the Supreme Brahman attain that Supreme by passing from the world during the influence of the fiery God in the light, Agni, that means it should be in the morning hours, auspicious moment of the day, influence of the fiery God, and then in the light at the auspicious moment of the day, then Shukla Paksha, that means waxing moon, fortnight of the waxing moon, Then Shanmasa, during the 6th month when the sun travels in the north, Shanmasa, Uttarayanam. If all these things are there, fire, light, day, fortnight, everything is mentioned. If all these things, there are presiding deities for that. Fire god takes him to the deity of the light. Deity of the light takes him to the deity of the day. Deity of the day takes him to the deity of the fortnight. And in this way, the whole thing is mentioned. Then this person need not have to come. That is what is does not have to come back. That is what has been stated here. Now let us see what Prabhupada writes in the purport. First we'll read this verse. Agnir Jyotirah Shuklaha Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahma Vido Janaha. Okay, Vishwambar Prabhu, Sudha Mataji, and Gadadhar Prabhu. Read the verse, and Hansrupi Prabhu will read the purport. Translation Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Agnir Jyotirah Shukla Sammasa Uttarayanam Tatra
Agnir Jyotirah Shuklaha. Don't break anything. Agnir Jyotirah Shuklaha
Sammasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahma Vido Janaha.
अग्निज्योतिरः शुक्लः षण्मासा उत्तरायणं तत्र प्रयाता गच्छन्ति ब्रह्म ब्रह्मविदो जनाः.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Galatna. Agnirjyotirah Shuklaha Sammasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahma Vido Janaha.
Translation. Those who know the Supreme Brahma attain the Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of the fiery God, in the light at an auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When fire, light, day, and the fortnight of the moon are mentioned, and it is to be understood that all over them there are various presiding deities who make arrangements for the passage of the soul. At the time of death, the mind carries one on the path to a new life. If one leaves body at the time designed above, either accidentally or by arrangement, it is possible for him to attain the impersonal Brahmajyoti mystics who are advanced in the yoga practice can arrange the time and place to leave the body. Others have no control. If by accident and they leave at an auspicious moment, then they will not return to the cycle of birth and death. But otherwise, there is every possibility that they will have to return. However, for the pure devotee in Krishna consciousness, there is a fear of returning, whether he leaves the body at an auspicious or inauspicious moment by accident or arrangement. Hare Krishna.
So here, Chandogya Upanishad speaks about this. This verse, the explanation is given from Chandogya Upanishad. So whether somebody's cremation rites has happened properly or not, doesn't matter for a yogi. It's not so easy to become a yogi. Yeah? We can very easily speak, but it's not so easy to become even a yogi. Generally, devotees, they speak very easily. Oh, he's a yogi. He has done so much of tapasya. He goes to the Himalayas. He sits nude there. He just applies ashes. We are not able to bear some cold. But we don't have to think much because we are taken shelter of Krishna. But that doesn't mean that we have to criticize a yogi. When we went to Badri, at the time I still remember our bus was standing. And I saw there was a yogi was walking. And he sat in one place and he had a crab in his hand. The crab was biting him. I just went down out of curiosity to see closely. It was a real crab or what. I said, why did you keep this crab here? He said, just because I want to know that I'm not the body and soul. I said that you don't have to do that. You just have to serve Krishna to do that. Why are you hurting your body? This body belongs to Krishna, so I was giving all these things to him. At the time, my Shiksha Guru told, come back. Don't have to give Upadesh to him. Just come back. Because even I had little fear. If he keeps that crab on my hand, then I cannot tolerate. So just see, they are also doing so much of tapasyas. To know that I'm not the body, I'm soul. Dharana, dhyana. Then afterwards, their inclination is to merge with the Brahman. Jot me jot. They speak that. Jot me jot. Let this light merge in that supreme light. And that supreme light as a form, it doesn't know. Not a problem. At least he's doing something. And when he's doing something, naturally he will be rewarded. Whether his body is cremated properly or not. Now, yogis, generally, they don't have people around them. They don't have sons to lift them. They don't have somebody to give them water at the time of leaving the body. What will happen to such yogis? This is the answer. They select. Their tapasya is to select a proper day, proper time, proper day and time. So now, proper mass also. Now here, Chandogya Upanishad says, even if their cremation happens or not, the deity of the light takes them. And from the deity of the light, they go to the deity of the day. And from the deity of the day, they go to the deity of the waxing, that is Shukla Paksha, waxing fortnight. From the deity of the waxing fortnight, they go to the deity of the 6 months, that is Uttarayana, leading to the summer solstice. From there, they go to the deity of the year. From the deity of the year, they go to the deity of the sun. From the deity of the sun, they go to the deity of the moon. And then they go to the deity of the lightning. And the non-human form takes them to Brahman. This is the path of Devas, the path of Brahman. Those who go by this path do not return to repeated human birth. So for them, this is perfection. See, controlling senses, everything is there. But what is mukti for them to achieve this? What is mukti for a devotee? To achieve the unalloyed devotional service to Krishna. So that is where the difference comes. So this is mukti for yoga Mishra Bhakta. They're too much interested in perfecting their yoga. Now let us see. Those who don't get this time, they don't get fire, they get smoke. There's a difference between fire and smoke, isn't it? This person gets the deity of the fire. That person gets smoke. That person doesn't get daytime, he gets nighttime. He is not getting Shukla Paksha, he gets Krishna Paksha. That means he's getting waning moon. He is not getting Uttarayana, he gets Dakshinayana. So let us see what happens to him. Dhumo ratri satha Krishnaha shanmasa Dakshinayanam tatra chandramasam jyotir yogi prapya nivartate. Dhumo ratri satha Krishna shanmasa Dakshinayanam tatra chandramasam jyotir yogi prapya nivartate. Such yogi has to come back. Has to again come back. Again perform the yoga. So that at least by accident you should get this. Okay. Anupama, Daya Sagar Prabhu, Aneja Prabhu. Read the verse. Anupama, read.
धूमो यात्रिस्तथा दक्षिण तत्र चंद्रमासं ज्योतिर
तत्र चांद्रमसं
ज्योतिर योगी प्रभाया निर्वर्तते.
धूमरात्रिस्तथा कृष्णा षण्मसा दक्षिणायनं तत्र चन्द्रमासं ज्योतिर्योगी योगी प्राप्य निवर्तते.
हरे कृष्ण. धूमो रात्रिस्तथा कृष्ण षण्मासा दक्षिणायनम तत्र चांद्रमसं ज्योतिर्योगी प्राप्य निवर्तते.
Okay, Yasharth, read the translation, read the purport.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waxing moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the sun, reaches the moon planet, but again comes back. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapil Muni mentions that those who are expert in fruitive activities and sacrificial methods on earth attain to the moon at death. These elevated souls live on the moon for about 10,000 years by demigod calculations and enjoy life by drinking somarasa. They eventually return to earth. This means that on the moon there are higher classes of living beings, though they may not be perceived by gross senses.
Okay. So he will come back, but he will be there in the moon for some time and again come back. So here again, Baladev Bhushan writes about the return of these yogis. They got smoke, then night, then running fortnight. Again, Chandakya Upanishad speaks about it. 6 months leading to the winter solstice. Then respective presiding deities, Pitruloka, and in this way they come to Chandramasam. They come to the moon. Then after exhausting their punyas, Shine Punye Martelokam Vishanti. So this process has been given. Deities of smoke to night, to waning fortnight, to winter solstice, to year, to Pitruloka, to ether and moon. Anyhow, let us see the next. शुक्ल कृष्णे गति हेते जगतः शाश्वते मते एकया यात्यनावृत्तिम् अनन्या वर्तते पुनः अन्यया. शुक्ल कृष्णे गति हेते जगतः शाश्वते मते एकया यात्यनावृत्तिम् अन्यया वर्तते पुनः. So Krishna says there are two paths, light and dark, two ways of passing, light and dark. When one passes in light, it does not come back. Ekaya yati anavrutti, he doesn't come back. When one passes in darkness, he returns. Avartate punaha, he comes back. Okay. Gadi Prabhu, read the words, then
Hare Krishna.
Chinmay will read the words. Mayapur Viharini Mataji will read the words.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Shukla Krishna gati hete jagatah pate mate ekaya yatyana vrittim anyaya vartate punah.
Chinmay. Chinmay can read. Okay, Mayapur Mataji, you read, and then Manoj Jha Prabhu will read.
हरे कृष्ण. शुक्ल कृष्णे गति हेते जगतः शाश्वते मते एकया यात्यनावृत्ति मन्यया वर्तते पुनः.
Very good.
हरे कृष्ण.
Manoj Jha Prabhu.
शुक्ल कृष्णे गति हेते जगतः शाश्वते मते एकया यति अनावृत्तिम् अन्यया वर्तते पुनः.
Okay. Vaishnav Prabhu, read the translation and the purpose.
Hare Krishna. Translation. According to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back. but when one passes in darkness, he returns. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The same description of departure and return is quoted by Acharya Baldev Vidyabhushan from the Chandogya Upanishad 5.10.325. Those who are fruitive laborers and philosophical speculators from time immemorial are constantly going and coming. Actually, they do not attain ultimate salvation, for they do not surrender to Krishna.
So Baldev Vidyabhushan gives a big elaborate commentary on this. Then, Naite Sruti Partha Janan Yogi Muhyati Kaschana Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna. Naite Sruti Partha Janan Yogi Muhyati Kaschana Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna. Narayan will read, Vaishnav Gaur Prabhu will read, and then Krishna Priya will read. Vandana Mataji will read the purport.
नैते श्रुति पार्थ जानन् योगी मुह्यति कश्चन तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु योगयुक्तो भवार्जुन.
Next.
Naite Sruti Partha Janan Yogi Muhyati Kaschana Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna. मतलब ये जानन्य योगी होगा या जानन अलग और योगी अलग होगा?
जानन योगी अलग है.
हाफ ना दिया होगा.
जानन वो न हाफ ही है. आप देखिए एक न फुल है, एन हाफ है, इसे जानन.
नैते श्रुति पार्थ जानन् योगी मुह्यति कश्चन तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु योगयुक्तो भवार्जुन.
Okay, here it is given. Naite Sruti Partha Janan. Now devotees, they don't know all these things. Do you know? Were you knowing this? Any one of you were knowing? Not only Krishna is making us know, na? We were not knowing. Even after knowing also, we will not know. Even after Krishna will tell to do, because we don't have time. So much our acharyas have given us the work, but we don't have time to think about this. To ask a devotee, is 24 hours enough for him? He will say it's not enough. So many agendas, so many activities. This program, this preaching, that preaching. So where is the time? Even if he knows also, they are not bewildered. They may not know, they may know. It doesn't matter. Na ete sruti, this two path, janan. Even if he knows, he is not much interested. That means he is not bewildered. He is not in anxiety. Oh, if I leave the body in night, then what will happen? He is not in anxiety. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Because at all the times, yoga yuktaha is interested in engaging himself in Krishna service. Bhavarjuna, Krishna says, oh Arjuna, don't be bewildered. They are not bewildered, you should also be not bewildered. Like Prabhupada was never in anxiety, where will he leave the body? Like when Prabhupada, in February itself, it was like Prabhupada was very serious. At that time, some opening was there in the western side of the country. Then everybody told Prabhupada, no, this is not the time to go. Prabhupada said, and that too, you're going to leave Vrindavan and go. If something happens there, then Prabhupada said, wherever Krishna temple is there, that is Vrindavan for me. So even Prabhupada was not thinking about the place also. Generally, people think about their own benefit. they'll think about, okay, let me go and sit in Vrindavan. Let me go and give up the life in Vrindavan. Prabhupada did not think all these things. He was not at all worried about the time and what to speak about, not at all worrying about even the place also. Not worrying about the place, not worrying about the time. He only has one worry. What is that? How to grow in devotion, how to make others grow in devotion service, how to engage others in devotion service. By this, what happens is the acharyas never think about their own gati. Automatically, it happens for them. Now, November, Prabhupada comes and it is Kartik, and Prabhupada leaves his body in Vrindavan. So, Krishna makes arrangement. Yadi vatadi doshena madbhakto mam nachasmaret aham smarami bhaktah nayami paramam gatim. Krishna gives this promise in Varaha Purana. Krishna says, even my devotee is running whole day, but yadi vatadi doshena, because of vata and other doshas, a devotee is not able to remember Krishna. Krishna says, I remember him and I take it as a personal responsibility to take him back home, back to God. That is a compassion of Krishna. That is why, although the devotees know this part, they may know, they may not know also. But Krishna says, even though they know, they are not bewildered, because they're always fixed in devotion. Yes, Krishna Priya Mata, you have some doubt?
Yes, Mataji, in previous verse, it mentioned light, one and darkness. Now that is light means it's Paurnami
Daytime.
or Amavasya, or daytime and night.
That also you can say. Because it's Shukla Paksha, Krishna Paksha. When you say light, then actually it is like Purnima. Then Amavasya generally shall give up the body. When Purnima comes, many of the yogis think, oh, it's now Purnima. That too Purnima when it is daytime, and that too it is Uttarayana. So all these things, they wait for such moment. But again, they do so much of tapasya for that also. They may get also, some people get the siddhis. Some may accidentally go. Some may not get. Okay. Who will read?
Hare Krishna. Translation. Although the devotees know these two paths, O Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion. Purport. Krishna is here advising Arjuna that he should not be disturbed by the different paths the soul can take when leaving the material body. I'll just repeat it. Purport. Krishna is here advising Arjuna that he should not be disturbed by the different paths the soul can take when leaving the material world. A devotee of the Supreme Lord should not worry whether he will depart by arrangement or by accident. The devotee should be firmly established in Krishna consciousness and chant Hare Krishna. He should know that concern over either of these two paths is troublesome. The best way to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness is to be always dovetailed in his service, and this will make one's path to the spiritual kingdom safe, certain, and direct. The word Yoga Yukta is especially significant in this verse. One who is firm in yoga is constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness in all his activities. Sri Rupa Goswami advises
Anasaktasya Vishayan. You have studied this in 6th chapter. Yukta Vairagya. Falgu Vairagya. Okay. For your homework, Yukta Vairagi and Falgu Vairagi. This will be the homework, because you should know what is the meaning of Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya. How many of you remember in 6th chapter this verse had come, the purport? Do you remember at least, even though not the words, but at least you know that this has come in the purport? Huh?
Yes.
Anasaktasya Vishayan Yatharham Upayunjataha. What is the meaning of Yatharham Upayunjataha? For his purpose, without having any attachment. Anasaktasya Vishayan Yatharham Upayunjataha. This is who? This is a Yukta Vairagi. Read.
one should be unattached in material affairs and do everything in Krishna consciousness. By this system, which is called Yukta Vairaga, one attains perfection. Therefore, the devotee is not disturbed by these descriptions because he knows that his passage to the supreme abode is guaranteed by devotional service. Hare Krishna.
It is there in 6th chapter, 10th verse. Both these verses are there. Yukta Vairagi, Falgu Vairagi. So this you have to memorize. Anasaktasya Vishyani Tharham Payunjitaha Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Uchate. Who is a Falgu Vairagi? He considers everything as prapancha. Prapanchikataya buddhya Hari Sambandhi Vastunaha. Mumukshu bhi parityago Falgu Vairagya Uchate. Katyate. So anasaktasya Vishyan. He has no attachment for any anasaktasya, no attachment for any Vishaya Vastu. But he uses, you takes it. For whose purpose? Krishna's purpose. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe. Yatharham Upayunjitaha. For his purpose. Nirbandha. He doesn't have any attachment. Krishna Sambandhe. That person is Yukta Vairagi. Prapanchikataya Buddhya. Even after seeing Hari Sambandhi Vastunaha, he considers this as prapancha. What is prapancha? So, once it so happens.
Matter.
Yeah.
Matter. Perpanch.
Matter. Yeah. So, I went for preaching in Chembur. Times of India office gave me a bungalow. Told you preach in this bungalow. So, we called the devotees there. But we found that in that bungalow, there were some Jain lady monks. In this Chaturmas, they don't travel. It was this time only. It was rainy season, Chaturmas was going on. I went there. And you see, exalted yogis, devotees. They are not devotees, but at least yogis, tapasvis. They should pay obeisance. I just folded my hands. And they said, "Yahan kyun aaye?" I said, "A big class hai." Aiye. Then that lady monk told, "We don't hear from people who are in prapancha." I said, "Can you explain me what is prapancha?" Then she told, "We wear white, you are wearing color. This color means prapancha." I said, "Is it? Color means prapancha. White means it is renounced." So just see, when this, I said, okay. I did not argue. This went. Exactly this verse was there, 6.10. And they were hearing from inside. The result was, in the next class, they were sitting in the class and they were hearing to the class. At least they come out of this prapancha. It is not prapancha. Seeing everything is matter. And then thinking that, okay, if we follow this path, this is renunciation. Real renunciation, Yukta Vairagi, is really renounced. We need not have to wear some orange or white. It is not the dress which determines a renounced person. Renunciation is actually a state of mind. How much you are renounced, like what is the level of our devotion, depends on how detached you are from matter and how you are attaching the matter in Krishna's service. It is just not detachment. It is detachment with attachment. Detached for yourself, but attaching everything in Krishna's service. Then that is Yukta Vairagi. So here Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Devotion emphasizes on Yukta Vairagi. Be a Yukta Vairagi. Don't be a Falgu Vairagi thinking that everything is prapancha. That is why they don't utilize any car facilities. They just walk. But if you see the devotees, they have a wonderful car, everything, mobiles, everything. But what they are doing with that mobiles, they are sending Zoom link, that means connecting, using everything in connection to Krishna. Even if you have a car, what is the problem? You are traveling so that you can reach in time and you can propagate Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada used everything and used it in Krishna's service. Or a karma sannyasi should not cross an ocean. You know that? He should not cross the ocean. He should not light the fire. And Prabhupada did exactly the opposite. He crossed the ocean. In fact, he used to make prasadam for everyone. So whatever rules and regulations comes as an impediment in devotional service, a devotee should readily give it up. He should not be attached to the rules and regulations. If that rules and regulations comes as an impediment, don't take it. Don't take the rules and regulations. The 4th chapter, you have this verse. Because we're talking on Yukta Vairagi, I'll put that verse also. When we do the 28th verse, by the time I will find out that verse and tell. That verse clearly states that if this comes as an impediment, don't follow that. You don't have to take that path. Like if Prabhupada would not have traveled, then we would not have been sitting here and studying Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada gave up all such rules and regulations just for our benefit. That is why we should be highly indebted to Srila Prabhupada. He was not interested in those rules and regulations which makes a person come out of such a great compassionate activity. There is no compassionate activity than preaching. There are so many who are suffering. So preaching is an activity by which he can be trained in Krishna consciousness. If you have something, give it to others. So preaching is distribution of prasadam, and that should be done. Okay, so the devotee is not disturbed by these descriptions. He doesn't take it so seriously. Why? Because he is more interested in Ananya Bhakti. Ananya Bhakti. Let us see. 28th verse, last verse. Vedeshu yajneshu tapasu chaiva daneshu yat punyapalam pradishtam atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanamupeti chabyam. Vedeshu yajneshu tapasu chaiva daneshu yat punyapalam pradishtam atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. So, Janardhan Prabhu, you have Narayan, and you have Mayapur Mataji. We'll read the verse.
Hare Krishna. Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yatna daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam teti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadam.
Very good.
वेदेषु यज्ञेषु तपस्सु चैव दानेषु यत्पुण्यफलं प्रतिष्ठम् अत्येति तत्सर्वमिदं विदित्वा योगी परं स्थानम् उपैति चाद्यम्.
वेदेषु यज्ञेषु तपस्सु चैव दानेषु यत्पुण्यफलं प्रदिष्टम् अत्येति तत्सर्वमिदं विदित्वा योगी परं स्थानमुपैति
Why did you run now?
चाद्यम्.
Mayapur Mataji, suddenly why you ran? Chant properly in the meter, suddenly running. Why you should run? Chant properly.
हाँ माताजी.
Read.
वेदेषु यज्ञेषु तपस्सु चैव दानेषु यत्पुण्यफलं प्रदिष्टम् अत्येति तत्सर्वमिदं विदित्वा योगी परं स्थानमुपैति चाद्यम्.
Because when we read the verse now, who is hearing this? Krishna is hearing now. Why we are studying? To please him. We are not just studying for certificate. We are studying to please him. He has spoken this verse. So naturally, when we chant, it is for his pleasure. Okay. Vedeshu
Yes, Mataji.
yajneshu tapasu chaiva. Vedeshu, by the study of Vedas, yajneshu, by performing yajna, sacrifice, tapasu, by performing tapasya, austerities, daneshu, by giving charity, punya phalam, the result of pious work, pradhishtam. Now, from here starts another thing. This is all indicated. All these things are there. Very wonderful. Atyeti tat sarvam idam viditva. Now, your yogi, what he does, now here yogi refers to devotee. Why it refers to devotee here? Because param sthanam upaiti cha adyam. That means he is interested in that param sthanam. That is why what he does, he considers all these things as insignificant. That means he surpasses all these things just by serving Krishna. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not interested in the results of all these things. He is not interested in the result of studying Vedas. Though he is studying Vedas, no problem. But he is not interested in the result. He is not interested in the result of studying Vedas because he is more interested in devotional service. Nor he is interested in the result of performing tapasya. He is not interested in the austerities also. He is not interested in charity also, but he does charity. But he is not interested in the result of charity. There are people doing charity so that they can get Swargaloka, they can get higher planetary systems. So he is not interested in all these things. So a devotee, why? Because he is interested in that supreme abode. He is interested in the supreme abode. Why is he interested in supreme abode? How is he interested in supreme abode? By performing devotional service. That is why the results obtained by other path. What is that other path? A karmi, karma yoga. What he does? A karmi performs charity. Tapasvi. Jnani is interested in tapasya, or yogi is interested in tapasya. Jnani is interested in studying the Vedas, performing the sacrifices. All these things are again what it is emphasizing. The results obtained by a karma yoga or a jnana yoga or a dhyana yoga is not at all interest. That those results are not at all, the devotees have no interest in all the results obtained by these three paths: karma yoga, jnana yoga, hatha yoga, that has been given. Technically, the same thing has been spoken. So Krishna says, simply by performing devotional service, he attains all these. That means what results are obtained by these three people: karma mishrit bhakta, yoga mishrit bhakta, or jnana mishra bhakta, is easily attained by a devotee. So that has been spoken. What is attained by a karmi, jnani, and a yogi is easily attained by a bhakta. And he reaches the supreme eternal abode. Okay. Parthavantu Prabhu, read the purport.
This verse is the summation of the 7th and 8th chapter, which particularly deal with Krishna consciousness and devotional service. One has to study the Vedas under the guidance of the spiritual master and undergo many austerities and penances while living under his care. A brahmachari has to live in the home of the spiritual master just like a servant, and he must beg alms from door to door and bring them to the spiritual master. He takes food only under the master's order, and if master neglects to call the student for the food that day, the student fasts. These are some of the Vedic principles for observing brahmachari.
After the student studies the Vedas under the master for some time, at least from age 5 to 20, he becomes a man of perfect character. Study of the Vedas is not meant for the recreation of armchair speculators, but for the formation of character. After this training, the brahmachari is allowed to enter into household life and marry. When he is the householder, he has to perform many sacrifices so that he may achieve further enlightenment. He must also give charity according to the country, time, and candidate, discriminating among charity in goodness, in passion, and in ignorance, as described in Bhagavad Gita. Then, after retiring from the household life, one, upon accepting the order of Vanaprastha, he undergoes severe penances, living in the forest, dressing with a tree bark, not shaving, etc. By carrying out the orders of brahmacharya, householder life, Vanaprastha, and finally sannyas, one becomes elevated to the professional stage of life. Some are then elevated to the heavenly kingdom, and when they become even more advanced, they are liberated in the spiritual sky, either in the impersonal Brahmajyoti or in the Vaikuntha planets or Krishna Loka. This is the path outlined by Vedic literatures. The beauty of Krishna consciousness, however, is that by one stroke, by engaging in devotional service, one can surpass all the rituals of the different orders of life. The word idam viditva indicates that one should understand the instructions given by Sri Krishna in this chapter and the seventh chapter of Bhagavad Gita. One should try to understand these chapters not by scholarship or mental speculation, but by hearing them in association with the devotees. Chapters 7 through 12 are the essences of the Bhagavad Gita. The first six and the last six chapters are like covering for the middle six chapters, which are especially protected by the Lord. If one is fortunate enough to understand Bhagavad Gita, especially these middle six chapters, in the association of devotees, then his life at once becomes glorified beyond all penances, sacrifices, charities, speculations, etc. For all, one can achieve all the result of these activities simply by Krishna consciousness. One who has a little faith in Bhagavad Gita should learn Bhagavad Gita from a devotee, because in the beginning of the fourth chapter, it is stated clearly that Bhagavad Gita can be understood only by devotees. No one else can perfectly understand the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. One should therefore learn Bhagavad Gita from a devotee of Krishna, not from mental speculator. This is a sign of faith. When one searches for a devotee and fortunately get a devotee association, one actually begins to study and understand Bhagavad Gita. By advancement in the associations of the devotee, one is placed in devotional service, and this service dispels all one's misgivings about Krishna or God and Krishna's activities, form, pastimes, name, and other features. After these misgivings have been perfectly cleared away, one becomes fixed in one's study. Then one relishes the study of Bhagavad Gita and attains the state of feeling always Krishna conscious. In the advanced stage, one falls completely in love with Krishna. This highest perfectional stage of life enables the devotee to be transferred to Krishna's abode in the spiritual sky, Goloka Vrindavan, where the devotee becomes eternally happy. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 8th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of attaining the Supreme.
So Ananya Bhaktas get Krishna, and Yoga Mishra Bhaktas, they can come to the point of light. Light here refers to Brahman. So that has been spoken. And here this word idam viditva is very important. That means knowing the knowing the glories of Krishna and his devotees are mentioned in this chapter. Idam viditva. This can be idam. Idam means this glory, where devotee and devotional service and Bhagavan, Bhakta Bhakti Bhagavan has been emphasized. And if a person knows this, idam means knows this truth or this secret. Viditva means knows. If he knows this secret, then he considers other perfections as insignificant, like a grass. That has been emphasized. That is why idam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. That has been given. Adyam. Adyam refers to the abode which has no beginning. Adyam. We chant Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vikraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Adyam. That is the abode which has no beginning. And it is Param. Param means it is beyond any illusion, transcendental to all the material gunas, supreme. Adyam, it is the original. A yogi, that means a devotee can attain that abode. And for when he understands that these things, he surpasses. This atyeti means he surpasses. Atyeti also refers means considering insignificant. So I was studying the verse 3.34, where a devotee even surpasses the rules and regulations if it comes as a stumbling blocks in the path of devotional service. Indriyasya arthe raga dvesho vivastitau tayorna vashamagichet tau hasya paribandhino. He is not attached to anything. He is not attached to the rules and regulations. He should not come under the control of such attachments also because if they come as a stumbling block in the path of devotional service, he should know to give it up. That has been given. So here this last verse emphasizes on the glory of a devotee. A glory of a devotee, the glory of devotional service, and glory of Krishna's mercy. That has been emphasized. So any doubts you can ask. Before that, next week there will be no class since I am traveling. But the 3 classes which we are missing, so I'll be going to Nagpur. I'll be taking 1 day extra. Which 1 day is okay for you all? Is it can be Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday? Is it okay with all of you? Or another option is Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Friday. Huh? You can give your options to me in my
Sunday, Saturday, Sunday. Because
Saturday.
Sunday.
Mataji, Saturday will be.
Saturday, Sundays.
Saturday is okay, Mataji.
Saturday, Sunday, we have Sanskrit class, so I cannot do the class. But we can do it something like the mornings or something like that.
Morning is okay, Mataji. Morning or even.
Because what happens is it is clashing other programs. Those who have joined Sanskrit class will be very difficult for them. So I feel that we can do one thing. Another one thing we can do is
Sunday morning.
Sunday 1 minute. Sunday 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. 6 o'clock to 7:30 we can have. 6 to 7:30 on Sundays.
No, Mataji, Sunday is Sunday feast in temple and
Sunday feast, yes, services are there. Better we keep it on the weekdays and finish it on. Just I want.
Yes.
What in 3 weeks, one extra class. So
Make it in the evening only, Mataji. Evening only.
Yeah, evening only. Maybe Tuesday. I'll announce that.
Yeah.
Maybe Tuesday or Thursday.
Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday is okay, fine.
Sunday means holiday. Okay. Any doubt in this now? Sundays there are different programs in temples also.
Same days, if you take half an hour extra.
Then till 11 o'clock I have to go. Don't do that. Better is one day extra is okay. Was 9th chapter again is very important. We may have to take some more extra classes also. I don't rush off. If I want, I can rush off also. We don't want to rush. We just want to study peacefully and absorb things and connect the things. Because what we are studying in the first unit should not happen that we forget. So your homework, I'm giving the homework. You have to study 2 verses, Yukta Vairagi, Falgu Vairagi. And I'll be asking that on Monday. Which Monday? The other Monday, not the coming Monday. Hare Krishna.
24th.
Yes. Yes, yes. Tell.
Aparyam tastvanyam prakiti buddhi me para.
Jivabhutam Mahabaho.
Jivabhutam Mahabaho Yayedam Charyate Jagat.
Hari Bol, Jai Ho. And another one sloka I want to tell.
Vansa kalpatrubheksa Vipasindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnavendiki
Jai. Next week, actually, I'm going to Naina Manjari only. So she'll sit on my lap and chant the shloka.
Very inspiring, Mataji, with the pronunciation and everything. Really
Yeah,
inspiring.
she's she's 3 years old, 3.5 years old.
Yeah, perfect training she's getting from party and
Mother.
mommy.
My hand is not much, but Jumur and Nikhil, both of them they do. But my is I ask her every time, tell me the shloka. If she calls me, whenever she calls, first thing she should do, she should tell the shloka.
Really inspiring.
Wonderful. Hare Krishna. So
I
I'm
want
actually
to
going
ask
to
you,
Nagpur actually. Huh?
Mataji, I want to ask you how you inspire a child here to read shlokas.
Actually, you should go on chanting the shlokas and play with them with the shlokas. Then they are trained. And
Like,
yeah, that
sometimes
is
it's
how.
difficult. Your kids they can't pronounce, even they don't take interest. Yeah, like my child, I'm trying. It's difficult. They're engaged in different things.
Yeah. So it is like there are different ways. Some can chant shlokas, some can do a better drawing for Krishna, some can do a better craft for Krishna. So he can do that. And while doing that, he can write some words. It's not that you have to learn so many shlokas. Even if you have learned one shloka and you are able to write those words by writing some study, by hearing some study. So, like in my childhood, my father used to make me wake me up 4 o'clock in the morning. And the work of me was like 4:30, he'll give me bath and all those things. 4:30 to 6 o'clock, I used to chant shlokas. I never saw 6 o'clock or something. Every day 4 o'clock. And every day take bath in cold water. So my father was a perfect trainer.
Yeah.
So that is a time actually in the childhood, if you put it, the soil is so soft, it absorbs.
Yeah. That is.
Again, it depends on your previous life impressions and all those things, how much capacity you have. And ahara, Shuddha Satvik ahara, especially one who serves cows, automatically gets satoguna. Ahara Shuddha, Sattva Shuddhi, Dhruva Smritir Lambe Sarva Granthinam Vipramoksha. Just take Shuddha ahara. Shuddha ahara means take cow milk. We had cows in our house. So I used to drink 3 liters myself. I used to love drinking milk. The more you drink milk, the more you have the butter of cow, Deshi cow, not Jersey. And the more you have the ghee, that gives you that potency, that the finer tissues of the brain is nourished, then you get, where should I get all these things? Then we have Goshala, where we have 300 cows.
Oh my.
So that has been given the responsibility to take care of 300 cows. So whenever we come to India, we can show you those Goshala. And you want a pure Deshi cow ghee, I can export you from here. There are so many things which we are doing. And especially the nose ghee when you put in the, while before sleeping, like our Nainu never goes out without putting nose ghee, we never sleeps without putting nose ghee. This nose ghee directly activates your Agya Chakra.
Did you understand?
Makes you very sharp. So I can send you that also, especially nose ghee. Keep it a habit. Without that, don't sleep. That will remove all our problems which is above the collarbone, like you have sinus or some headache or some anxiety. So these are certain techniques, how to sharpen your memory. Study, study, but then for that you have to give some dose. And this is ghee is the dose. The more you take ghee, 60 milligram of ghee, 60 grams of ghee. One of the acharyas says, every day you should consume 60 grams of ghee. Just imagine. That much power is there in the ghee. And if we compromise in that, then you have to compromise in other things.
But we are compromising with the food, yeah, what here available is, yeah, different kind of foods, and we don't know what we are eating. It's just written there.
Then that is why we have started organics. When you say, yes, we have. I am a director of organic company. I have my company Organics. I have the company where we promote Deshi cow milk. And we have a company where we are taking care of 300 cows. All these are extras, but these are whatever benefit comes, that again goes in the temple service for this thing only, so that the society will be given very good thing. Because now what we're taking in the name of dal, wheat and all those things, we are actually taking urea. More than the food, the fertilizers are going in our stomach, which is actually cancerous. We don't know that. That is why if you have to stop it, just take organic. Actually, in our times, everything was organic only.
Yeah.
Because everything had the fertilizer of gobar and gomutra. But now this extra, because the green revolution started, this Britishers started, this after Britishers gave us freedom and all those things, we started with green revolution where tractors were introduced. Fertilizers called urea was introduced. And that is where big hospitals came in picture. Now at times, what was the hospital means? Some fever and all those things only. Doctor means he was like a compounder. But now they're earning. They give protocols. That means till you don't have money, till your last penny of your ATM is removed, till the time they go on giving protocols. I can send you all the details. I can send you all the details of our organics. Take advantage.
Yes, please.
Mataji, what is the benefit of taking bath in cold water?
Jumur can tell very nicely. Our Jumur also takes bath in cold water. Jumur, she's food scientist, and Nikhil is earth scientist. So Jumur can tell very nicely what is the advantage of taking bath in cold water. Yes, Jumur, you can speak up.
Actually, if you don't have any ailments, then cold water is okay. Otherwise, lukewarm body temperature water, like just lukewarm, not hot, not cold. That water is actually ideal for your body below the head, like from this area. Above the head, the water has to be cold, like especially for this region, because you have all the gray matter here, and brain is almost like more than 90% is fat, and that fat is very sensitive to temperature. So this part has to be washed with cold water, and below the head it has to be warm water. for eyes also cold water, because eyes also, the back of eyes, everything is in fat. So in the earlier therapies, they used to put ghee in the eyes also, because constitution is ghee. That same fatty acids are there in your inside the eye also. So that is the reason you should take bath with warm water. And you should do abhyanga also, especially with cold pressed sesame oil. So, so that is best for pre-bath ritual. Like if you don't apply soap, it is okay. But massage with oil is much. And just one tip for Shloka Mataji for children. In case of Nayan Manjari, I have observed that she listens to me very peacefully when she is in relaxed state. So maybe you can try massaging the feet of children, and that time you can keep on singing shlokas or bhajans, whatever you like. That time they listen in very nicely.
Hari Boom.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Stop here.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Jhuma Mataji, yeah, probably one day you can just 10-15 minutes speak about your experience. Yeah, how did you train your child? Because I'm very much interested. And in temple here in Zurich, Switzerland, I'm giving classes. So probably this experience I can share with other kids, yeah, and their parents.
Surely, Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You just let me know, like whenever you want
You
my help. Let me
yeah,
know.
or I can write you personally if you don't mind.
Yes, that would be better, Mataji.